Welcome back to another episode of The Road to 2200. Here we are playing. We are 1892, right on the edge of 1900 once more, against an 1847. I have played several games off stream with my Chestnut Pro over here to the left of me, which has been super fun. And I guess I'm just going to go here. Don't see this move all that often. And okay, so it might just be the straight up, I think it's called the Shigorin. I don't see that very often. I don't really know what to do about it. I mean, if they go here, I can just go here and prevent it. I could just go here and say you can't go there at all. I could just develop my pieces normally and say I don't even care that you're going to go there. I dare you to go there. Problem is, it does land with a pretty nice fork if I just let them do it. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. I feel like what I'm supposed to do is go here. But it doesn't seem like it would work very well. Can't they just go here? They're hitting that. It seems like the smartest move might just be to play A3, but it just seems like such a waste of tempo. Like, I hate just playing A3 out of nowhere in the early game. So I am thinking... I'm considering taking on d5 and then developing the knight. I'm considering pushing e3 to be able to interpose with the bishop on d3, but that does not work. I guess after the game, we're going to have to figure out an answer because this is a terrible answer. But I'm going to go here and say you can't come in. I don't know. There's no way that's theory, right? That's just such a slow plotting response. I'm the white pieces, so I feel like I can kind of get away with it, but it's not a good move. I mean, it's not even fully clear I want to play a3. Wow, striking out in the center. Interesting. Okay, now I'm very lost. All right, so this does win a pawn if I want. It's like here, 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 here. It does give them a lot of development. And I think I would want it to go that way, right? Kind of forcing them to take. I don't know. Let's do it. This game is a mystery game. I don't really know what happened in this game, but we're gonna find out what happened in this game after the fact. This is definitely a weird one. I mean, is the plan to go here? But I think then I have ideas like take, breaks up their pawns. Now they have tripled pawns, and I get to go here anytime I want, attacking the bishop and hitting the pawn. Like, I don't know. That just seems like a really not great plan for them. So I don't quite know what I'm missing. I feel like maybe there's some trap that I'm missing in the position, and I'm just kind of waiting for it to be unveiled. But I don't know. We're going to find out. This is one of the fun parts of chess, right? Is that sometimes you wander into unknown territory where you think you're fine, but there's that little bit in the back of your mind going, you sure you're fine? I don't know if you're fine. Okay, we take back. And I suppose I could just go something like here and not lose the pawn. I don't know why I was so adamant I was winning a pawn there. Probably because right now I'm up a pawn. That's probably why I was so adamant about that. So I guess I am going to be temporarily up a pawn. Wow. Okay then. What is happening? How is that a good move? Okay. I think I just take here with the queen. I'm up a pawn. What does my opponent even do there? If they take, well, I'm thrilled about that. I'm looking for something sneaky with this queen. I'm just not seeing it. I'm gonna take here and say, prove it. Prove that you're not just down a pawn with me having the full center. Prove it. In fact, sorry, prove you're not down 2 pawns. Like, I don't know how this opening went so badly for my opponent. Unless they have just some thunderbolt up their sleeve that I am 100% missing with their almost fully undeveloped army. I feel like they're in trouble. Like if they trade queens here, okay. If they trade queens here, I stand by my statement. I think they're in trouble. I mean, they do have interesting ideas like going here to go there, but I think it's like takes, goes here, bishop here, then I go here, and now they can't do those plans. Let's do it. We're going to go here. They're going to go there, and then I believe I go here. Let's double check this. So I go here. Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, they have an almost fully undeveloped army, so it's just hard to believe if someone doesn't have any pieces developed that they can amass some out of nowhere amazing attack. Like it's just a tall order, we'll say. And if I castle, I don't know. Like they don't even have good squares for the bishop. Neither of these are good for this bishop. Yeah, I don't know. Like the knight can't even go here. It would have to go here. And if they try to go like here for the bishop, I can just go here. And then if they attack that pawn, I go here. It's like, I don't know. It's an interesting pawn structure where even though I'm up 2 pawns, they're kind of a weird 2 pawns to be up. Like they're stacked and they're not passed yet, but I feel like all I have to do is not mess this up and I just have a pretty overwhelming lead. Okay, so I don't think that really does anything other than eventually be able to double rooks. Do I even need to go here? I guess that's the question. Could I do other things? Could I go like here? I think what I'm going to end up wanting to do actually is go here. Then he has to go back there again. Then I can go here. And then I can end up going there. So I think I'm actually going to do that now. I feel like I've bought myself a move. My opponent putting their bishop in a bad spot. And I think their thought was I can go back here, but then it's trapped. So now they just have to come back to either here or here, which is actually blocking in their knight if they go there. This game is just a total and complete train wreck for my opponent. Okay, so I think the answer is just here, castles. They're a few moves away from even getting them out. Ooh, and I have this very clever idea. If they ever move this bishop, if I'm here, I can go here with the unfortunate diagonal straight from my chessboard course. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to go here first. I don't think it matters, but I'll do that. Okay, that's probably a good plan. Try to at least get that knight in the game. And if I go here, and they go here and here, that's kind of messy for me. So it might just be best to let them have their knight get in the game. I castle, and I still say, okay, you got some more pieces in the game. Ah, wait, before I do that. What if they take with the bishop? And then hitting that guy. So I think probably not. I think the answer is to go here first, and then if takes, well, then I just take with the bishop. So we'll do that. That seems like a more reasonable way. And yes, I'm guarding this less, but I think I'm okay with that. They only have one piece that can attack it for the moment. Very quickly, I am going to do things like maybe here, here, here. That might be in the cards. Almost assuredly, I'm actually going to take this pawn next, because it is a big weakness of mine. Whatever piece they take back with, I'm going to take. Okay, and if they go that way, that's fine as well. Yeah, I think this works just fine. Okay, I'll go here. I go there. I can't actually take here yet, which I really would like to do because then this piece hangs. But what I can do, I think, is go here and then here. I guess the question is if I go here, 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 that's also a problem. So maybe I want to go this way. I go there. The only problem is then they're immediately attacking it twice. So then I have to move it. So maybe what I want to do actually is go here. No, maybe I just want to castle. Okay, how am I unwinding? Let's figure this out. Because the second rook is almost certainly coming immediately. Oh, and it can't land on d2. Okay, I think this is okay. Even if the rook goes here, it can't land here because of the knight. What they can do is takes, and then land a rook here. It's really not that bad. What I can't do at the moment is go here if they go here. But that's fine. I don't have to contest the open file. I know I have it in my mind somehow that like all open files must always be contested, but you know, sometimes they're not. The thing I'm most worried about is this and this. If that bishop can get on that diagonal, it will be more of a problem for the rook. Now, they don't immediately double, then I'm just going to d1. Okay, that works out really well for me, I think. Okay, hitting the bishop. Begging me to take the knight. Just begging me. I'm not going to take the knight, though. Oh, yeah, okay. I like this a lot, actually. So I think I can go here. Then to here after they double. Maybe I'm going here and then they go here and then I take and they take, and I think again that's totally fine. But yeah, I think we're gonna take there. And yeah, the file on the king is open, but I think that's gonna be fine. Because I can always take that knight off. If I take the knight off now and he goes here, it's just a little bit awkward. I don't think I need to do that. So we're going here. Yep, I think that's fine. It'd be interesting if they go something like there. I didn't think about that. Hitting this pawn with check, kind of opening up a bit of an attack. It'd be a little bit hard for me to meet because I also have this discovery, but I guess I would probably just take, and then I win a rook for a pawn, so I guess that's not doing anything. So now I'm up 3 pawns, and suddenly my pawns that I'm up are 2 connected pass pawns up the middle. So my game went from pretty good to pretty fantastic very, very quickly. And I think I just go back here. And I really want to take here, but I just don't think that's a good plan. If I go here and they say go here now, I think I just go there. And I think that's okay. All right. I'm just going to go back. Wait, one more time. Before I go there, what if they go here? I would just take this way. And if they do an exchange sack, that's also fine for me. I don't really lose anything. Okay, so I'm very close to having all my pieces developed. My pawn structure is beautiful. And I'm up 3 pawns. Like, that is, you know, that's a big advantage. I'm very curious after this game to figure out, like, what did my opponent do wrong? What was the issue? What did they think they were doing? Because it felt like they were lost from a very early moment in the game, and I'm a little confused by it. What I'd kind of like to do is go here, gain some more space, push those pieces back. But probably I think I should go here and maybe here. And just get this knight over into the game. It's in a nice defensive spot. Then I can push this, push the knight back. And I don't have to do anything fancy. I think that's the important thing here. I don't have to mate this person. I don't have to do anything but just kind of, you know, continue improving my position. So the threat is here, and then I can't push the pawn because the rook would hang. So I think maybe better is just to go here. And then well, maybe I can just wait to do that. Can I go here first? Then they go here, then I go here. What if they put the other rook here, though? I probably want to push this pawn. So I think probably I should go here. Yeah, now I'm opposing this rook. I can do things like take here if I want. The rook is going to be traded. It quite likely takes. We just trade off a bunch of stuff. The problem is I would die to that. But there are other moves I could make with this bishop to just get it out of that. Probably this is my next move. Just to connect the rooks, get all the pieces involved. If there's not a blatant threat I need to respond to, I think it's best to just get the pieces in the game. In fact, probably better is this, so I can go here and just say, I don't think so. I don't think you have anything now. But let's see what my opponent does. This would be a tough game for my opponent to play, because they really have, like, while I'm saying I don't really have to do much other than play good moves, my opponent is desperate, right? They have to find a win. They have to find some combination that will do something amazing, most likely a king attack, and every piece that gets traded off is just one step closer to loss. I wonder if actually instead of moving this rook, I should have moved the king. Then they couldn't have even put the bishop there because I would have just taken. I'm not sure. I don't think there was a wrong move there, so I think I'm feeling pretty decent about that piece of it. It seems like pretty much everything I could have done there is at a minimum fine. My opponent working hard, trying to find a way out of the hole. I have known that plight many times. Okay, let's see. I guess we can just think about. Okay, so it does move there. Interestingly, I can go here now because of the bishop. I can't go here, which is a little bit annoying, but I kind of wanted to go here anyway. So that is intriguing. I'm probably just going to move this pawn up, though, and say, I don't think you can get through with this pawn moving up. Everything is kind of locked down for you. I won't be able to go here, but I can go here or here and threaten the bishop with my next move. If I go here, let's say, tries to come in here, I'm just taking. So I think this is fine. I think this is a fine you have nothing move. Like, yes, they could go here, but that's not going to do anything. I'm going here to chase him away. Opponent just hasn't done anything that's sort of changed the trajectory here. Now, if they had a queen, this would be different. I would be a little nervous about making the light squares so weak. I just kind of feel like they have the light squared bishop, yes, but I also have mine, so it's not like it's uncontested. And they only have one knight that can also help in those light squares, so that's why I was willing to weaken them so voluntarily. I think if queens had been on the board, I would have been more interested to play f3 and to say I don't want to leave this gaping hole there that a knight could just possibly jump into. Okay, so I suppose my opponent is looking maybe at something like this, but again, I would just trade. I'm not that worried. If they take here, I'm totally fine just taking here and saying, cool, let's... Oh, I guess I'm not. Okay, that is a good point. If I were to take here, then they do have this move. So I guess I have to be a little more careful. But I could just take this way and then push it again. So I think I'm going here. Put the threat. Yeah, let's go here. And say I think this is probably good enough. I would love to trade off this piece. The interesting thing is if it goes all the way back to here, I think it's gone. Can't I go here? And then there are 0 squares that can go if you look down that diagonal. So that's interesting. Okay, so it does take there. Desperately hoping I'll walk into that trap. I'm a bit tempted to take this way though. But I guess no, then they can't go there. So let's think about that. Oh no, because then they would be hitting this with check. So we really do need to get rid of this guy. I think the best way is to go here. And then I guess there are some minor problems. Let's say they move the bishop. Where am I moving my knight so that this doesn't come with a problem? I guess that's something I wasn't really thinking about. If I go here immediately, they go here. I guess I could just go here. And that should be fine, right? The knight is a little boxed in. Certainly more than I intended. Okay, I'm going to go here and say I think this works. If nothing else, I think I can go here, here. And my point is, after this, I almost will certainly go there. I guess there's a question, what about after this? But I think the answer is that. No, that doesn't work, actually, because of the pin. So maybe that's a problem. Maybe I haven't fully parsed this thing out. Maybe if they go here, I'm in trouble. Go there. I could probably give up the exchange and not be totally devastated, but I wouldn't love it. Yeah, okay. I think that works. I think that works better than I thought it would. What about, though, this idea? And then if takes, takes. But if here goes here, then my plan doesn't work. Oh, maybe it does. Wait. Here, takes, here. We are even. Up a rook. Check, takes, takes, and we would be even. Okay, wow. So I gotta make sure this works before I do it. But if this would save me. Alright, so knight here. Oh, sorry, bishop there. If he takes with the bishop first, then I just back up the knight and all is fine. If he takes with the bishop first, I take their bishop. Yeah, I think this works. Okay. This is a big moment because I'm crushing my opponent. So if I walk into this and it doesn't work, then I'm a fool. Okay, but that's fine. I get to just go here, back it up, and I think I'm okay. Okay, so I'll go here. This is a problem, so I'm going to probably go here, here. Maybe not there, but I'm going to move the rook so I can move the knight. But I'm continually having to deal with these annoyances that my opponent is putting up. They're doing very well for being in as deep of a hole as they are. Okay, that's an interesting move. I guess the idea is to go there. I will be able to go here. So I'll go here, here was the plan. But things just keep getting muddier and muddier. What about here so I can go there? I guess I can't go there, but I think I would rather be on this file or this spot. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, ideally I would like to go here, and maybe eventually I'll be able to. Not right away, unfortunately. I think this is coming almost assuredly. And then after, if I go here, what if they just come over this way? Then what? It's not attacking anything. My pieces are starting to look discombobulated. Oh no, now I'm guarding this. What am I talking about? I'm guarding this, so I don't even need to worry about that. That's a big difference. Okay, nice. So now if here, I could maybe even go here. Hitting this piece, when it moves, I could go there. And I could swing the rooks over maybe. Okay. Still can't believe I'm up 3 whole pawns. This feels outlandish. Interesting. To try to weaken things. Okay. Where do I want this knight? That's really what it comes down to. What about here? To be able... Oh, what about this move, actually? If takes, knight takes, knight will end up here. I'm going to win. If I go here, bishop runs away. I get to take this pawn also now. And then be threatening this. Nope, nope, nope. Wait, remove the defender. I go here, remove the defender, goes here. We're even. So maybe that's fine. I go here, removes the defender, I go there. We're even. They take, I take. But what if they go like here? I would take. All right, I think this works. Again, I keep kind of playing with fire for no reason, which hopefully I don't get burnt this game. I feel like I'm pretty tactically sharp today, which I think is maybe part of this, but I don't know. I'm finding tactical solutions when probably they're unnecessary, right? I kind of feel like I'm up so much. Probably just a simple positional answer is the answer. I feel like I'm like complicating. I'm giving my opponent more chances, and this is certainly when I lose classical games. I've lost a lot of games in this very manner of like, I'm going to out-clever my opponent. And then it's like, nope, no, you did not out-clever your opponent. You just got beat. Okay. So now on this pawn, but I do get to go here. I am taking away the defender of this square. Now I can move the knight. I will move the knight. Ooh, this looks promising. Hitting this with check and this. So maybe they come back. I'm not hitting that, but I'm hitting this. Oh, and they don't have anywhere to go really but here. And then, yeah, then I just come over here. So again, looking for a tactical solution, but I think this is a good tactical solution. Unless I just want to go here, and then maybe here or something. All right, let's go here. Again, tactical solutions to non-tactical problems. Oh, man. Oh, and for some reason, I'm thinking I can just cruise over here. Oh, no, I can't. Okay, never mind. I think my next move is here if I'm allowed. And then probably here, and then here, and then trading off all the pieces and just winning a easy endgame. I'm imagining it's an easy endgame. Oh, I get to win another piece, another pawn, huh? If I want it. Ah. Okay. Maybe this is actually a problem. Takes here, comes back here, 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 and oh no, I can come back to there though. Okay, that's fine. I'll go here. Take another pawn. Just give me all the pawns. I could go here, but it seems unnecessary. We'll go to here. And my guess is we're going to see this. No. Doubling on there. That, I don't think is a great idea. Okay. I think I can go here pretty easily. Cannot go here, which is nice. I may even follow it up with this, but I think this looks pretty promising. I do have to worry about this stuff. Like, that is a very real concern if I move that rook. But if they move, then I'm okay. In fact, I'm threatening mate after this move. So this is a very real mate threat. This is checkmate. because the knight is handling that spot. So will my opponent even acknowledge that they are actually in checkmate? They do not. They thought what they were doing is pulling my rook off of this square, and they were going to be super clever and win the game with that move. But instead, they're getting mated. Yes, they're getting mated. Check. Boom. Mate. All right. It was a clever idea by my opponent, but alas, there was a mate on the board. Okay, this was a fun one. I don't understand what happened. I'm very much looking forward to, like, what do I do when my opponent does that, and why did my opponent do that? Okay, so that's game. They didn't let me get the mate. That's okay. All right, so let's take a look. So this is the straight up Shigorin variation. This isn't. There's only one move in the database, but there's only one time it's played, which is this, which seems fine. I assume we would see. Oh, I guess the engine or the line is this, but it's letting them still do the things they want to do. So I thought I'll play a3. The computer does not have a3. Wow, the computer says c takes d5 is +3. That this is just a win. And then if they take here, I would go here. If here, I'm up 3.5. Okay. Because I could go here. And I guess if they try to continue with their plan... okay. This is what I missed. By putting the knight here and breaking the pin, now e4 is a thing. I looked at e4 a lot in my calculations, but it never quite worked in the line I was in. But there it works. Okay. So this is obviously not the Shigorin defense, because the Shigorin defense does not insta-lose. So I don't know what the main move in the Shigorin is. No, it says... What? I don't understand. It says that this... Okay, not that. But this is the move that's usually played here. Okay. Well, now we know if this is played, I can just take, and I don't have to play a3 and give up my entire advantage. Now it's a draw. Now we're just at equal, which I knew. And then my opponent was like, no, man. Please take this pawn. So I did. Apparently this is the worst of the three choices. That this is the winning move. Forcing my opponent to have to move this knight. There is nowhere good to move this knight. Computer says this is the best spot, which seems insane to me, but okay. Oh no, what am I talking about? Yeah. Okay, so the best spot is to take, and then we win the center pawn, and we are winning. I went here thinking I was also winning a center pawn. But apparently if they take here, they can hold this pawn? Doesn't it look like this would get the pawn back pretty easily? 7, take the pawn, and now I'm just up a center pawn, and the computer says, well, now there's real threats, buddy, right? Like that's a threat. Now I don't have as much time, though I can defend it this way. And then, go here to chase the queen away. I'm just playing computer moves at this point to try to figure out what is happening. I can't go here to trade queens because I wouldn't lose the pawn. In fact, that looks pretty reasonable. So what happens if here? If here takes, knight e7, and I am up a full pawn, and the computer is unimpressed and says this is a draw. Probably because this is a pretty weak backwards pawn, and it will get hit at some point. Okay, so I think my calculation was right, that if I went this way, I would be up a pawn, but the engine just disagrees that it's a good pawn. The engine's just like, no, it won't work. But then my opponent went here for some reason and was like, here, have another pawn. And even here, the engine's like, no, you should take this way, because you have these beautiful connected center pawns. And I just said, let's just get queens off the board and go that way. And then from here, it's a whooping. My opponent did play impressively well, other than this move. This is not a good move, right? And we can see why it just lets me develop. And then I'm just going to go through and see if there was ever a moment where My tactical answers to positional problems caused me a problem. Okay. Everything seems fine so far. The computer says this is the best move, in fact, which is good because I was a little worried. Okay. Ah. Computer says this is best. I just thought this was a good counter to it. But I don't know why I thought that, because these are not on the same diagonal. I can just take here. And then it takes. I go. Oh, right. I can just go here to get out of it. Okay. So that's how I should have done that. I took with the pawn, which is fine. It's not like it caused me a problem. This was fine. The number. Okay, this was a good move. The computer also likes just simply backing up. I didn't think backing up worked that well, though, right? Because of something like this. Computer says then I could just move him over. But I thought, okay, so we're going to just keep repeating, which is what the computer is suggesting. I'm not really up for a repetition here. Yeah. I don't. Okay. Computer also says a really good move here is this. Just to prove how much you're winning by. Just give up the exchange and tell your opponent it doesn't matter. You're still getting crushed. Okay, well, I didn't want to do that. I figured I wanted to hold onto my rooks. So, where is it? So I went here instead, which he doesn't like as much. I don't know why. It seems better to me. Then went here, which was the number one move. That doesn't do much. This is also the number one move. And then here. So, nice. This also was a little bit risky, but the number one move. So, I'm pretty happy with myself that I was able to see the good moves, even if they were a little risky, and I played them, and then this was made. Granted, I was up, 1, 2, 3 pawns. So I did not play the beginning perfectly, which is a little bit frustrating. But I am happy that I did calculate it correctly, that I would be up a pawn. It was just more of an assessment issue. I guess I'm not happy that here I knew this was the wrong move, but I also could not figure it out, right? I did see this, but for some reason I was kind of spooked still by, well, can't they just come in there? Like, I think I was looking at something like this. And then, but again, as soon as this knight is here, I can just then play e4. And now they have literal nothing. So that's it's one of the big problems in my game is when my opponent does something weird in the opening, I do not always capitalize. And I think we saw that this game, that even this move I capitalized on, but in the worst way. I got very lucky that my opponent didn't just make the best move here and then made just a double weird move, and it's just baffling move here. I don't even understand what the point of this move was. After I take here, what was even their idea? Oh, right. Their idea was they were going to castle along and be doubled on the open file, but then the problem is, they just never were able to do anything with it. All right, so a fascinating game. My opponent went like ultra aggro in the opening. We were able to repel them. My takeaways are, 1, I continually have this problem of when my opponent does something weird in the opening, not fully grappling with it effectively. Sometimes I try to over-punish. Sometimes I don't punish enough. I really continue to struggle with that. Number 2 is I feel like I calculated well in trying to find tactical answers to positional problems, but I'm not sure that was the right answer, right? The engine liked it. The engine thought I did great, but the engine always calculates right. Like, what if I had just made simpler answers to these problems rather than complicated answers to an easy question? I don't know. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed that one. It looks like we're going to be 1900 again. It's been a little bit since I was 1900, and I'll see you next time on the road to 2200.